So I want to show you folks a little bit about what the system, one leg of the system here is that they have at that location. Basically, they have 4 major sections in that plant that all run off the inductive automation software. Basically, everything in that plant, except for some of the packaging equipment, goes through the inductive automation software. We have a flavor batching system that batches like your Sprites and your Dasani flavored water. Then they have what's called a load cell batching system that does mostly the Coca-Colas and the classics and stuff like that. Then from there they have an additional system that does ammonia compressor control. And then they have a wastewater system control, and there's probably a couple more systems that Bruce has added on that I'm not aware of yet. So,
air compressors is the next thing, Jason. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no, thank you very much. I knew there's something I was missing there, Bruce. The one I want to give you guys a demo of here is the flavor room controls, as you can see. On this screen right here, you can see all the different sections that it can take us to. This is their main menu. This project right here is a very good example. It shows a little bit of just about everything we've done with the Factor PMI side of the software. It's like I said, this is one of our latest projects, so it shows a lot of what we've discovered recently. Basically, this is what the operator sees when they're running the equipment upstairs in the blending area. What they're doing is they're blending dry ingredients with sugar and water to make the syrups that are sent down to the line that are mixed with water and carbonated. So anyhow, this is the blend system here. I'm just kind of tour you through and show you some of the features and the highlights here. So basically, the system has 2 sides. Looks like they're not really running anything on this this blend system right here. This runs on a touch screen. So basically, all these red buttons that you see, funnel H2O, funnel outlet, all these buttons here are something that the operator can manually turn on a pump, a shear pump, send the product out of the system or recirculate. We thought about completely automating this process, but we found it's more of an art than a science, so we decided to give them all their push buttons. To step back a bit, I'm going to show you what they do when they run a batch. These are all the different recipes. They can choose their caffeine-free classic or Diet Coke. Whatever they want, they press the button, and it loads all the parameters for that particular recipe into what we call their manifold, which is these areas down here at the bottom of the page. Calculates all the water and the sugar and rinse, all the other parameters they need. Then after they choose their batch, they go and select what tank that they want to run this batch into. And you look over here in the upper right corner, you'll see F1, F2, F3, B1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the tank names of their blend tanks. So once they select the tank, you see this little warning up here. It says prox not okay. It'll tell them if the proximity connections are made right, their jumpers are made right. So they'll tell them if they're physically connected to make that correct path to that tank or not. Then over here on the right, you'll see it'll show them what the targets are for all the different ingredients that are liquid ingredients that are metered in, and all these ingredients go through mass meters, micromotion mass meters, and the system reads that in constantly across Modbus, and when it sees it hit its mark, it shuts off the valve in the appropriate pump. So basically, they pull up a batch, they run it, they blend it, and when they're finally done, they hit the final rinse button here on the bottom, and I'll show you where the stuff is going to here. They can run to, it'll be either going into these flavor tanks or these bulk tanks. So once those tanks receive this blend, it agitates for a while, and they pull a QC test over it, and then they put this, they press this release mode button, which means it can release it down to the line for delivery. So at that point, we go to the packaging screen, and whatever tank they have selected, by the way, it let me see here. It will show what is the contents of what that tank is in, has in it. On this last project, we did not have that feature in there. That's something that we hadn't used before, and I saw the value of that when someone accidentally sent the wrong product down to the line. So from that point on, we took the recipe label from what is being ran and batched into a tank, put it on the tank itself. You can see the contents, that Barks root beer and Coke Zero on there, and passes that parameter over to whatever is being handled downstream, whether it's being ran into the tank or delivered out to the line. So packaging passes that down and makes it easier to track. And for the sake of time, I'm going to go over here and show you a little bit of the rest of the system here. And the CIP skid, CIP for those of you that don't have one, is the acronym for Clean in Place. This system here washes their tanks and their lines and their equipment, and they can operate their CIP system from this factory PMI interface. They can select what they're going to wash in their plant through this interface here, choose what type of wash and start and stop it. Now, we go back to the batching. When they run a batch, this is one of the greatest features of the software here. Since this is database-centric, this is actually looking at a database that tracks every batch that they ran. Before, with the older RSU system, we used to print that out, and it was not kept on a hard drive. Now, since we're dealing with the database, we're able to log all this information and show the user anywhere on the network what batches were ran. This is all password protected, by the way. So we can click on a particular batch that we're interested in looking at, shows you what size it was, which unique number, and which side made that, which system made that batch. So we can click on this batch here, and we can pull up the paperless report. We can view it and print it out. There's also a way, and this utilizes the reporting plugin, by the way, that they sell as an option at Inductive. With the recording plugin, we can automatically email these reports. If something's out of spec, we can send it to a manager automatically. You can save it off as a PDF, and that's what format this natively it prints or saves off to a file as. Do whatever we want. So there is the batch report that says how much sugar and water was sent to there, who made the batch, and what date, and all the test information they could enter in manually that they used to have to write down on batch sheets by hand. So this is what really drove this whole conversion over to the Inductive software. No one else really had a nice, clean way of doing this. And the other thing I wanted to show you is on the reports is the CIP history. That's for that clean in place system I was telling you about. We have a way to graph each wash, and this replaces the good old circular chart recorders that we use all the time in the dairy industry. The local authorities have given us clearance to use the software to record wash information where we had to use these round circular chart recorders in the past. So any of you that are interested in doing that or have customers that are interested in getting away from the old strip or circular chart recorders, this is an excellent fit for doing that. And just like the other report, we could print that out or we could export it if we want to give them that functionality too. So see if there's any, that's pretty much it for this system here.